the Diddy Stitcher. Welcome. It is, what day is it? It's Friday, the 28th of January. It is grey skies and a little bit chilly here in the northeast of England. If you're new, welcome. This is a channel all about cross stitch. If you're returning, welcome back. It's so nice to see you again. Yeah, let's get straight into it. So I had progressed the last 2 weeks on some of my full coverage. So this was for my Whip Go goals. So Whip Go goal number 1 was block number 2, and that was to do the second quarter of my dimension stocking, and I finished. I kind of finished. I'm cheating. So this is it. This is my dimension stocking sleigh ride at dusk. I'm doing this for my daughter. I'm going to do a whole series, one for me, one for my husband, and if we are so lucky as to have another baby. But this is my first one. So my goal was to get here, and I've got that. I've done all the stitching up to this in the chart. I'm not counting this. I was going to fill all this in, but I don't feel that I need to. I can go back and fill that in really quickly, and I'm kind of saving it for when I need some fill-in time. So I'm classing it as a done, so I've completed it on my Whip Go board. So yeah, the masking tape tip that I talked about last video, where I'm using like washi tape on the chart, because I don't want to highlight the chart, and to make a working copy is really difficult because these dimension ones are color coded, so it's difficult to do it in black and white. That was working for me. Someone said that they take a picture and make that into a PDF and annotate the PDF. Great idea, but I'm a bit more analog rather than digital. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that system was working for me. It made me get a lot done. I'm liking it on the video here. It looks much better on the video than in person. So yeah, it was a Whip Go goal ticked off, which is lovely. It feels really nice. And so my next goal will be another quarter. So there's 2 more goals on my Whip Go that will be to finish the whole thing. Finish the stitching. I'm then going to go back and do the back stitching and the French knots and all those kind of things, because again the chart's difficult to read. I think I'm gonna find that easier for me. So to finish the stitching by the end of the year and then go back and do it. I might get ahead of myself and I might be able to finish it for the year. I think I've decided that I'll stitch all 4 of them, if I am going to do 4, and send them away to be finished at the same time, so they're all finished exactly the same. I'll choose the backing fabric and I'll choose different ones depending on the theme of the stocking, but I'll have the same person do it the same way and they're all the same. So it won't be next Christmas, but maybe in 10 years time maybe we'll all have stockings. So yeah, this is on the kit fabric, which is a 16 count Ada, I think. All the kit floss, everything kit. So yeah, that's my dimension stocking ticked off my Whip Go. Put that down there. Next was my Imperial. So this was number 19 on the Whip Go, and this goal was to have a page finished, and I haven't finished it yet. So I finished all the letters and this archy bit here. So this line here in the middle, that's the middle of the chart. So I've decided that I want to go up to the middle, and then this is the end of the page. So technically I'm gonna, oh, you can see through all my carried threads. You won't be able to see that when it's framed, it's fine. So yeah, this is the end of the page, but I'm just going up to the middle is what my goal is to go up to the middle, because when I turn the other page, this will be like repeated, so I'll be able to stitch that. So yeah, but I'm really happy with the progress on that, because again, it was kind of stuck. I started it in 2019, I think, and having this on my Whip Go has helped me get a lot of progress, which I'm really happy about. A lot of confetti, which is a headache, again, probably why it was slow, but happy with that. So this is on an 18 count Aida. It's 2/2, and there's a lot of blended threads, which is why it's on 18 count 2/2. Yeah, that was it. So I'm happy with that. There are more Whip Go spots to work on this one, so I'm hoping I just get round to it at some point. I don't have to finish every single thing on my Whip Go, but it would be nice to. So yeah, so that was that. And so the new Whip Go numbers were called yesterday, and they were number 5, which for me is to finish a page on the sister chart for my last one. So this is Moe White Star. That was Moe Imperial. This is Moe White Star. Wow, you can see my carried thread. This lighting's funny. So I'm, oh, where's my work emails? I'm on my lunch break. So this one I was a bit further ahead with than my Imperial anyway, but I still have a page finish mark for this. So this is kind of an easier win than my Imperial will be, because I started both of these with the paper copy, and then I went into Scarlet Quince's pattern keeper type thing. So that changes the way the pages are displayed. So I'm switching over to that. So the page comes down just another 5 rows here and up to the middle of the C here, I think it is. Somewhere in the middle. So it's not as much stitching as Imperial was, but I'll be at the same stage of both of them, because I kind of want to finish these both at roughly the same time, so I'll be able to frame them together the same and hang them next to each other, because they're kind of like sister patterns to each other. So yeah, happy with that. Again, this is the same 18 count 2/2. This white is, and the same on the other one, is just all left. I'm not stitching a million stitches of white on white. Life's too short for that. So yeah, happy with that. And then the second number that was called was 17, and that is a page on my Moon and Stars. So it's very full coverage heavy this month, but I think that's okay. So this is my Moon and Stars piece. This is the first panel, Evening Star, and I'm doing this on a 25 count vintage grey Lugana. It's one of the printed ones by Zweigart, so it's got the mottling on the front and it's just plain on the back. 1/1, 25 count, full cross. So again, this is in Pattern Keeper, and I've said a page finish, but the pages are a bit skew with, like they're not all the same or even roughly the same kind of size. So I think a page ends there, and then there's like 10 rows. So I think in my mind it's just finished the end of this row, which is a lot. It doesn't look a lot because it's small, because it's 25 count, but that's going to be a lot of stitching. But I'm enjoying this one as well. I'm enjoying it doing over 25 count. 1/1 on 25 count. It makes a change to the 18 count 2/1. So it will be different. They're both full coverage pieces for this month's Whip Go, but they will be slightly different. So yeah, those two will be my focus pieces for this month. Now, it's the Winter Olympics coming up, and I love watching the Olympics on the telly. And Katie, Naptime Stitcher on Instagram, has done like a prompt thing to go with the Olympics, which I always love those because it's just fun and it makes you stitch on something every day and kind of mixes things up a bit and makes you think about a whip that you might not have touched in a while. I was kind of going back and forth on whether to do this or not because of Whip Go. But you don't have to finish your Whip Go goals in that month. It's just a focus piece, isn't it? So I've decided I will do the Stitch the Winter Olympics, #Stitch the Winter Olympics prompt challenge. And so it goes from February 4th to February 20th. And I've assigned most of them. There's some that I'm kind of having to shoehorn in there because the prompts didn't quite work, and I'm just kind of bending the rules slightly to what they'll be. But I will make a note on what I worked on, and I'll go through it in my next video, whenever that will be. But looking forward to that. I always like to prompt. So if you want to join in, go follow the Naptime Stitcher. I'll link her below. She has the prompt on her Instagram page, and you just make a list on what you want to do each day based on the prompts. I'm going away February 3rd, 4th and 5th. So that's right at the start. So my first two are like small pieces deliberately so I can travel with them. I didn't want to put a big full coverage piece for those, even though they probably would have prompted better. But yeah, not going to travel with a full coverage piece. So yeah, excited about that. So my other thing, I think why I didn't finish my Imperial, I could have probably finished it, and it's not the end of the month, so I could still be working on it. But my brain had this crazy idea to sort out all of my bobbins. So I spoke, well, when I got them, I got the Pip and Chip bobbins, and they all sit, in my Bisley cabinet there, and I love them. But they don't fit in the boxes, like the bobbin boxes. I haven't got any now. So I kit up each full coverage piece, for example, and I put all the bobbins that I need in a box, you know, those plastic boxes. And I'd had so many over the years, different brands of plastic bobbins, paper bobbins, half a skein here, half a skein there. And it was just annoying me that my beautiful master set was in all the Pip and Chip, and I'm working with crap, basically. So I had this master plan to empty every single kit that I kitted up myself. Kits that came with their own thread, like my stocking, that's their own thread. Like, I'm not bobbinating them, I'm not putting them into my set. Just the ones that I had to kit up myself that were already on bobbins, I've unkitted. So now I have nothing to stitch but kits, which is fine. But I unkitted everything, and I've laid them all out, and I said, right, you're a paper bobbin. I don't want a paper bobbin anymore. I need to make you. And I've decided to go with the DMC plastic bobbins that come in like a pack of 28. You might be able to get bigger packs, I don't know. But they've got the little DMC logo in the corner and a place to write the number. Just because I found those are the most consistent sizes. Because even the unbranded plastic bobbins, they're all different sizes, and I just don't think the quality is as good. I have had like snags on rough edges and stuff, and you don't get them with the DMC bobbins. Now I label everything. I have a label maker. I love him. He's called Sheldon. I have labeled him, and I made lots of labels for each bobbin. Very time consuming, but they don't stick very well to the DMC bobbins. I think they're like the DMC stickers that you get for the bobbins. I haven't tried them, but I have heard a lot of anecdotal evidence that they don't stick very well. They don't stay on the bobbin, and people rather like Sharpie right onto the bobbin, which is fine, but my handwriting isn't great. So I've ordered some stickers off Etsy, like a whole bunch of, like a whole set, and then extras. So every single bobbin that I make will be a DMC bobbin with a nice sticker on that will stay on. Those stickers are coming from America, and I don't know when they're going to get here. So I have nothing kitted up until they get here, and I can start re-kitting things. It's very complicated, and I didn't need to do it, but my brain does this. Cross-stitching and organising things are two great passions of mine. And when they collide, it gets a bit of a nightmare, because my cross-stitching brain wants to stitch and my organising brain wants to organise, and I can't do both at the same time. I have to do this. I don't have to. I don't have to at all. I can work with paper bobbins. Why do you have to do that, Helen? Because my organising brain wants them all to be the same. Anyway, if you get me, you get me. If you don't, then you can just tell me I'm crazy. So until those stickers get here and I start rebobbinating or re-stickering, because I have bobbins that are the DMC bobbins that are full, like have a full skein, and I won't be unwinding them. I'll just be taking the sticker off and putting the new sticker on. So I'm not stitching anything but kits. So I was working on my Sunny St. Mary's from Trueveil stitch kits last night, which is fine. There's a lot of fill-in to do in that. And you probably hear me, I'm a bit nasally. I have a little cold. So I don't really want to concentrate on following a pattern. So I just, pull a length off the floss card and stitch away. And that's fine. But now I'm thinking, like, I don't know how long these stickers are going to take to get here. And it could be a couple of weeks. I've had stuff arrive in like 3 days. I've had stuff take 3 weeks. Longer with COVID. Like, I don't know the last time I ordered anything from America. I think it was my counted canvas pieces. They didn't take long to get here. But who knows? So my Whipco pieces are just going to have to stay there and wait until I'm able to kit them back up. And the other thing on that is I'm not bothered about dye lots or anything. if you're full coverage, you probably know that if the pattern says you need 3 skeins of this colour throughout the whole thing, you'll want to kit up that colour to make sure you get the same dye lots. I'm not worried about that because these pieces are so, like, especially with the Scarlet Quince ones that are blended threads, it's really not going to make that much of a difference. If it was like a mandala piece where it's you're going to see you have the same, it's going to be the same number but they're slightly different dye lots, so it might look a bit different. I'm not worried about that, so I have thought about that. So I'm not worried if a different skein ends up in the kit afterwards. So I have thought about that, don't worry. So I'm thinking I can work on kits. I've got my Sunny St Mary's that I'm working on now. I've got my Mill Hill Christmas Village that I could work on if I wanted to. What else have I got? I've got my chatelaine that's got my specialty threads that don't go on bobbins, so I've got them to stitch with if I need to. And like I've got like little pieces that I could pinch a bobbin, you know, randomly. On my stocking, I could do more on my stocking. I could get ahead of my next goal on that if I really wanted to. So I've got things to stitch, but I might not hit my whip goal for February. And I'm looking at doing this Stitch the Winter Olympics, and I'm wondering how long I need to... I'm wondering how far I can get before I need to use a full coverage as a prompt. So my first 4 days, so from the 4th till the 7th, are all either tiny pieces that I can just use, I can just come and borrow a bobbin for, or it's a kit. So that's fine. 8th and 9th are full coverage, so I need them to be here by the 8th. That's 2 weeks. I need to have time to re-kit, bobbinate, sticker, and re-kit everything. I've absolutely shafted myself. What are you gonna do? It's the reality. Reality is my brain just runs away with things like this, and once I get it in my head that I want to organise something, I'm not happy until I organise it. I was happy with that organisation for a while, and then I was really happy when I got my pip and chip bobbins. And then I pulled the thread. I pulled the thread and I shouldn't have pulled the thread. It needed to be done. It didn't need to be done. None of this needs to be done. I don't need new bobbins. It is my brain. So yeah, that's my plans, I guess, until these stickers get here. I don't really have any haul apart from stickers that aren't here yet. And I'm planning on getting Abby Tot Knot Stitcher's new Moon series because that looks really fun. But I think on her website you can only download if you're in the US, Canada, or Australia. I think it's something to do with that or import stuff. I have to buy being in the UK, I have to purchase the PDF on her Etsy, and it wasn't up on her Etsy shop, but she said she was going to get it done yesterday. It was like my bedtime by the time I'd messaged her, so I'll check that today and see if it's up, because I'd like to do that. And that's another little one that I can just maybe pinch a few bobbins for if these stickers take a month to get here. Oh, and the Stitching Book Club's new Sal, I managed to get a copy, get on the line, The Witch in the Wardrobe Sal. And the world must have been trying to get it, because I was on Etsy and it kept saying like, oops, something went wrong. And my heart was pounding. I was like, I'd like run a marathon trying to get this Sal. I managed to get a copy. I was very happy. I didn't think I don't think I needed to be quite as worried, because it took maybe about an hour for them to sell out. I think she had to put them up in blocks because of Etsy, the way she could only sell so many at a time, and she can only sell so many because that's the agreement that she has with the C.S. Lewis Foundation, whoever she's got the rights from. But I'm glad I have that. So I'll be looking forward to that. I might not start that. I think that starts February 22nd, 12th, something like that. I have it down on my list to start on the 17th in my Stitch the Winter Olympics plan. So it's before that. We'll see. Because I think there's quite a lot of colours in that, so I'll have to kit it up. Providing my stickers for my bobbins get here. What did I do? My mind is questionable to me. Anyway, I think that's all. I'm liking doing these 2-week updates. I look forward to doing this on my Friday lunch break. I'm sorry that I'm a bit nasally still. It's annoying me. I'm gonna go have a cup of tea and some lunch. And I will see you soon. Thanks all. Bye.